Hey, it's Kendall. This is 90 Church. If you like it, like us on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're in a series called The Journey Home. It's about the biblical story of Nehemiah, whom God called to go to Jerusalem to rebuild the city walls that were ruined. Last week, we were in chapter 6 and 7. Today, we're traveling back in time to chapter 5. Each week we pick a word to kind of match our faith journey with Nehemiah's, and this week's word is reach. So here's Nehemiah chapter 5, starting at verse 1. About this time, some of the men and their wives raised a cry of protest against their fellow Jews. They were saying, "We have such large families, we need more food to survive." Others said, "We've mortgaged our fields and homes to get food during the famine." Verse 5, "We must sell our children into slavery just to get enough money to live." Verse 6, "When I heard their complaints, I was very angry," Nehemiah says, and who wouldn't be? Okay, what's going on here is that the wealthy people are taking advantage of the poor people, and they're making them mortgage their fields and even sell their children as servants. So what does Nehemiah do? He goes to those wealthy nobles who are holding the mortgage and who bought the fields and the children, and he reams them out. And they repent, and they make it right, and they restore the fields, and they forgive the loans, and they return the children. And here's the point that shouts out to me in this chapter. It's not about the wall. It's not about the wall. Nehemiah at this point is still working his tail off to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. He's doing what nobody else could do. He's restoring God's city. But when he hears about the plight of the poor, he stops it all. And he turns his full attention to making it right. And that's because, did I say this already? It's not about the wall. If all Nehemiah does is build the wall, but he doesn't actually reach into people's lives and it doesn't bring the healing and restoration of God's presence, guess what? The wall means nothing. At the Crossing, we're building a building. But as I've often said, it's not about the building. It's about finding ways to bring the healing presence and power of Jesus into the lives of those around us. And you know what? What's true for us is also true for me and you. This week, notice the people around you and care about them in the ways that God leads you to, because that is why He has placed you in their lives. We'll talk to you soon.